Anyone can listen to a speaker and form an opinion about how it sounds. But can the opinion be trusted? Critical listening is a skill, and not everyone has it. Infinity has a scientific program of subjective evaluation in which listeners are selected for their natural hearing ability, and then the good ones are trained to be even better at it, just as singers, dancers, and athletes are trained. In the end, these trained listeners give us the same preferences in what they like and dislike as do ordinary people, but they do it very reliably. Most important for Infinity, they describe what they hear in ways that help the engineers to identify what is right and wrong about the speakers that are being developed. The Infinity engineering staff developed their own unique listener training computer program. It quantifiably tests the ability of listeners to hear the kinds of problems most common in speakers, and then trains the good listeners to be able to recognize and describe what they are hearing. Adjectives like silky and chocolatey are fine for subjective reviews, but they do nothing to help engineers build better speakers. The software uses samples from different songs, as well as a sample of pink noise. The listener switches between the modified and unmodified sounds and has to decide which part of the signal is being altered. Listeners can start on the easy end with a sample that divides the signal into either high or low frequencies. But as the software divides the frequency range into smaller and smaller pieces, it becomes much more difficult to hear where those EQ variations occur. While the program is honing the listener's skills, it's also testing their performance so that Infinity engineers have a measure of the listener's skills. When the listener is good enough at this exercise, it's time for the ultimate listening test. Welcome to the Multi-Channel Listening Lab, or the MLL. The MLL is another Infinity exclusive. It may be the only way to truly evaluate the sound quality of a speaker. The MLL provides a neutral, unbiased testing environment, one where the listener is able to focus entirely on the sound, without the distractions of brand, price, appearance, etc. In other words, these are blind tests. A single listener listens to the same music sample repeated on several different comparable speakers. For example, an Infinity Prelude would be included in a speaker lineup along with other manufacturers' competing speakers. All of the competitor speakers are bought right from the retailer. The listener can't see the speakers, but the sound is crystal clear. This gives the listener a truly objective platform to make his or her judgments. Behind the curtain, the competing speakers are moved into and out of the selected locations. When the speakers are active, they are in exactly the same locations in the room. The same test, using the same speaker lineup, is repeated for several different trained listeners before it's ready for market. Only when the sound quality of the new Infinity speaker is rated as best in class is it ready for production. Infinity's dedication to producing good sound in any room, anywhere in the room, is a benchmark in the loudspeaker industry. From the innovative CMMD and MMD drivers, the unique waveguides, cabinet materials and cabinet construction, to the inventive Rebos technology, Infinity's scientific approach to building loudspeakers gives them the distinction of being the best-sounding loudspeakers at any price point.
The Infinity loudspeakers certainly are designed to be as transparent and as neutral as possible, so that when the consumer presses a play button or dials in a radio station, what they hear will in fact be as nearly as possible the art that was created for them.